Welcome to this special broadcast for Australian Property Investor Magazine. And the subject of this conversation is going to be a chat I'm going to have with a young couple who are firefighters by profession. They're newlyweds and owners of an investment property at Coffs Harbour, and they've just done a massive reno to create an equity gain of $180,000 plus. Joining me on screen, Jo and Kerry Matthews. Hi, guys.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. A great read too in the November issue of API, and we're able to follow your renovation journey. Can you maybe just share with us any tips about renovating that you learned from that experience?
Just with everything that you tend to do with planning for these things, you're going to have budget overruns and you're going to have time overruns. Generally, we did very well on the budgeting side, but with us, the time overran. But that wasn't a deal-breaking issue. That was just one thing that we picked up, or that I especially picked up on this one.
Yeah, we were well under budget, so that was a good surprise of it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, you both rolled up your sleeves, didn't you, and got stuck into it. Was that all about saving labour costs?
Yes, exactly. And it just makes it easy. I suppose with our work as well and with previous jobs, we've got experience in doing that, so it saves on labour costs. It just makes it easier to change tact on the go, and you can alter plans to recycle what you've got on site. There can be a lot of wastage in the building industry, and if you can be there every day, then you can recycle so much. It keeps all your actual build cost as well down a lot. Also,
in the article in API, I noticed too that you've got a number of properties. Which one of you does the research on where to buy and when to buy?
We both do, but I spend a lot more time than Yo on the internet on realestate.com, and I have about 6 or 7 different suburbs or areas in Australia I'm looking at once, and I would at least spend 2 hours a day looking at prices, looking what's selling, looking how often properties are selling, what they're renting for at the time, because for us that matters because we've got a buy and hold strategy. So before we bought the Arrawarra place in Coffs Harbour, that I would have been looking for a good year up there. So I was well aware of what the property market was doing. A number of your properties, I understand, are in America too. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We do have a couple over there.
So how was that different for you in terms of, spending so much time researching, and did you find the markets all that different?
The market is different in America. We speak the same language. Travel between the two countries is easy enough, but the market definitely has its nuances, just as the same as cities in Australia have their nuances. And with any new thing, this was the first time for both of us buying in the States in the last 2 years. And it was my second time using a buyer's agent, and the first time I had a great experience. And the experience is yet to be determined yet on this one. The jury's still out, but we'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, well, I guess that's subject for a different conversation totally, because we particularly wanted to talk to you about your Coffs Harbour property. Just getting back to that, you set a pretty strict timeline for yourselves on that one. Is that something that you'd hope to maintain maybe on your next project?
Definitely.
Yeah, a very strict timeline, but probably a few more days off in the next one. We actually worked straight for 8 weeks on this, pretty much with no days off. Might have been 2 in the whole time, but you need to find a balance. That's the thing. If you want to do this thing for the long term, we knew this one was a short, sharp window of opportunity where if we got on board and got it done, we'd be in a position to go again before the end of the year, hopefully.
Well, you're shift workers, of course, and we've already identified working as firefighters. Are you able to align those shifts so you can work together, or was it pretty much ships passing in the night?
Our shifts are aligned, so we get the same days on, same days off. So it's perfect. We can travel up and get back to work when we need to. So
that's a big bonus as well, being able to work the same hours.
Yeah. Well, given that there was a huge workload for you both on this last project in Coffs Harbour, are you happy with the outcome in terms of the amount of profit that you will have been able to make out of it?
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah. It's been a real.
It was all good surprises.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise to you when you got the valuation, was it?
No, not the evaluation, just probably being so under budget. That was a really nice surprise.
And yeah, the numbers just worked out really well for this one. And the surprise. Sorry.
So was that a surprise for you, or is that a strategy you've worked hard on, working on those numbers?
No, we definitely planned to have that be the end goal that we wanted to make around. Oh, we were hoping for 200 grand out of the reno. So you plan for that, but like with any reno, you don't know what you're going to come up against as well. This house turned out to have pretty good bones to it. It was in. It was just old and lived in, and it needed being cleaned up. So.
In the article, you mentioned about your strategy, and I think, Kerry, you mentioned there your strategy of renovate and hold. Is that something you think, it seems to me that probably has evolved over time. Is that something you think will be your strategy going forward?
Most definitely. Yo's done quite a few other property deals before this one where he was selling them off, and our strategy together now is to buy as close to the beach as possible where there's some good lifestyle for people, and we want to buy only positively geared properties and hold on to them for as long as possible.
Yeah, so is that going to involve a lot more research to find those positively geared properties?
Yeah, they're the hours and hours per day of searching. For all the properties I look at, there's a few gems in there each time. Maybe once a month I'll find a really interesting deal. And I think it's worth the extra time though, for sure.
Smart investor once said to me, it's all the ones you say no to is where you make the money. Is that what you're finding?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was a couple that fell through before we bought this Coffs Harbour house, and blessings in disguise looking back.
Yeah, it's great experience, isn't it? How long do you think, Kerry, you spend researching before you'll be prepared to make a move?
Again, look, I've been researching the entire time we've been doing this renovation still. So that's what I do of an evening after we've finished working. So when we've got our finances in order and if the right deal's to come along, we'll be going again.
Okay, just to sum up, guys, your top 3 tips for anyone who wants to do a renovate and hold strategy, what would you suggest?
Number 1, you have to buy the property at the right price.
Give yourself at least 15% on top of what you expect your budget to be. Add another 15%, yeah, at least.
And 3, do your research and get educated before you even dive in.
Do you, just in summary, do you guys do you use a line of credit? What's your credit facility like? How do you work that?
It's been different on every deal. Like on every deal.
One, though?
On this one, yeah, it was a line of credit taken out against other properties. But for all of the other deals that we've done separately or together, like it's different for everyone as your personal credit circumstances change and as market forces dictate what you can borrow as well. Sometimes you just got to make the most of it with what you've got.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff, guys. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Every success. I know you've fitted us into a pretty tight schedule here, so thank you very much. Kerry, lovely to meet you, and all the best to you too.
You too, Kevin. Thank you very much.